أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبي الرحمة محمد بن عبد الله وآله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, wa tahiyyatun min indillahi mubarakatun tayyibah. I pray to Allah Almighty that all of you are doing well, inshaAllah, and I ask Him, the Merciful, to accept all our good deeds in this blessed month and grant us sincerity in all what we do. I also ask Him, the Merciful, to bless us in our lives, our families, our offsprings, our wealth, and to protect us all from the evil of the wicked ones. My dear brother, my dear sister in Islam, today I would like to explain briefly on a subject that is frequently discussed every year among Muslims, especially on social media. It is the subject of differences. This will be our subject. Differences in citing the crescent for the month of Ramadan or the month of Zulhijjah. We call it, or we say it in Arabic, اختلاف المطالع. So our subject today is the differences in seeing the crescent for the month of Ramadan and the month of Zulhijjah. We call it or say it in Arabic اختلاف المطالع. So the question is, if countries differ in determining the beginning of the month of Ramadan or the month of Dhul Hijjah, in which day is the day of Arafah, means month of Dhul Hijjah, we have day of Arafah, which is 9th of Dhul Hijjah. Then in this situation, in this case, which country will a person follow? Repeat the question. Two countries or countries differ in determining the beginning of the month of Ramadan or month of Dhul Hijjah. In this situation, which country will a person follow? Let me give you an example for the sake of clarity. Let's say you, my brother or my sister, live in New Zealand or Australia or Canada or any other far country, and the crescent of Ramadan or Dhul Hijjah was seen in Mecca al-Mukarramah. You live in Canada, you live in Australia, you live in New Zealand, etc. And the crescent of month of Ramadan or month of Dhul Hijjah was seen and sighted in Mecca al-Mukarramah, not in New Zealand, not in Australia, not in Canada where you live. In this situation, which country will you follow? Are you going to follow Mecca, or are you going to follow New Zealand where you are living, or Australia where you are living, or Canada where you are living? This is the question. I hope we understand the question, because understanding the question will help us to comprehend the subject. So let us try, with Allah's help, to answer this question in a brief and simple manner, so that we all understand it and swallow it easily, bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala. To begin with, my brother, my sister in Islam, remember that our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftiru li ru'yatihi, fa in ghumma alaykum fa'uddu 30 yawma." Allah's Messenger, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him and the rest of the messengers, said, observe fast on sighting in it, means the new moon, and break fast on sighting it, means the new moon. But if the sky is cloudy for you, then complete the number of 30 days. Means you complete the month up to 30 days. If the sky is cloudy, you cannot see the moon. My brother, my sister, we all know that moon sighting and moon rises varies in different places of the world. They are not the same. The moon sighting and the moon rises varies in different places of the world, and they are not the same at all. So let us take Arafah as an example for our subject. Suppose the moon of Zulhijjah was sighted or seen first, I said first, in New Zealand, or Australia, Canada, or any other distant country, and then seen the next day. It was first seen in New Zealand, or Australia, or Canada, as an example. I'm mentioning these countries as an example. The month of the Hijjah was sighted there, and the next day it was seen in Mecca al-Mukarramah. This means that New Zealand or Australia will be 1 day ahead of Mecca, right? It was sighted there, and the next day it was seen in Mecca al-Mukarramah. Means these countries, let's say New Zealand or Australia, Canada, is 1 day ahead of Mecca al-Mukarramah. From the Sharia perspective, in this case, the day of Arafah in Mecca, which is 9th of the Hijjah, will be the 10th of the Hijjah for those living in New Zealand or Australia, etc., isn't it? Let me repeat it. Listen to me carefully. The month of the Hijjah, or the moon of the Hijjah, was sighted in New Zealand or Australia or Canada first, and then the next day it was sighted in Mecca al-Mukarramah. This means, my brother, New Zealand and Australia are ahead of Mecca by 1 day. Ahead of Mecca by 1 day. So in this case, from the Sharia perspectives, the Arafah day in Mecca, which is 9th of the Hijjah, will be the 10th day of the Hijjah for those living in New Zealand and Australia. Do we understand? In this situation, according to Sharia, it is not permissible for the people of New Zealand or people of Australia, those living in New Zealand, Australia or Canada, to fast on this day, means the day of Arafah, the 9th of the Hijjah, because it is the day of Eid for them, or it is Eid day for them. And as we know, fasting on Eid day is not allowed. I hope we understand. I'm keep on repeating so we can understand. The moon of the Hijjah sighted in New Zealand, and the next day it was sighted in Saudi Arabia. This means New Zealand is 1 day ahead of Mecca al-Mukarramah. In this case, Arafah day in Mecca al-Mukarramah, which is 9th of the Hijjah, will be 10th for those living in New Zealand. The consequence is that in this situation, those who are living in New Zealand, Australia or Canada cannot fast the day of Arafah, which is the 9th in Mecca al-Mukarramah, because 9th in Mecca al-Mukarramah will be 10th for them, and 10th of the Hijjah is the Eid day, and fasting Eid day is not allowed in Sharia, as we all know. My brother, my sister, I hope this is clear. And vice versa, if the moon was sighted in Mecca al-Mukarramah first, means before New Zealand or Australia, then the 9th of the Hijjah in Mecca will be the 8th of the Zulhijjah for those who are living in New Zealand, Australia, etc. Accordingly, in this situation, people, those who are living in New Zealand, those who are living in Australia, those who are living in Canada, etc., they should fast the day that is the 9th for them. Means today is 9th in Mecca, and for them is 8th. So next day they should fast the 9th, which is not for them 9th, for 9th, which is 10th, which is the 10th in Mecca. If the moon was sighted in Mecca before New Zealand, Australia, etc., then the 9th of the Hijjah in Mecca will be the 8th of the Hijjah for those living in New Zealand and Australia. This is clear. Accordingly, in this situation, they should fast the day that is the 9th for them, 9th of the Hijjah for them, which is the 10th in Mecca al-Mukarramah. I hope this is clear. So according to our scholars, this is the most correct view because of the hadith that I mentioned earlier, where our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you see it, the new moon, fast, and when you see it, break your fast. So those who did not see the moon in their own location have not seen it. Therefore, they don't have to fast until they see the moon or complete the number of 30 days of the Islamic month. So my brother, my sister in Islam, I hope it's clear. Let me conclude. Based on this short, brief explanation, based on our esteemed, knowledgeable scholars, since we all agree that the times for dawn and sunset vary according to their own location, so also the months are determined by location, just like the daily timings. I think we understand this. Since we all agree that the times for dawn and sunset vary, they are not the same as we mentioned, according to their own location. Therefore, also the months are determined by location, just like the daily timings. So on the day of Arafah, my brother, my sister in Islam, you should follow the country where you are living, means according to the moon sighting of that country. You live in New Zealand, you follow New Zealand. Similarly, with regard to Ramadan, you should fast and break your fast along with the people of the country that you are living, where you are living, whether that is in accordance with your country of origin or not. So my brother, my sister in Islam, the most important thing that we understand is that a person should fast with the people of the country that he is living in. Fast with the people of his country and break the fast with them in Ramadan, as well as the fasting of the 9th of the Hijjah day. Provided, listen to this carefully, provided they, means his country, always depend on moon sighting, not on calendar calculations. If they depend on moon sighting, then he must follow them. They don't depend always on calendar calculation. Because of the hadith that mentioned that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, fast when you see it and break your fast when you see it. In a hadith narrated by Imam at-Tirmidhi, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "As-sawmu yawma tasumun, wal-fitru yawma tuftirun, wal-adha yawma tudahhun." The fast begins on the day when you, means the Muslim community, fast. The breaking of the fast is the day on which you break the fast. And Eid, means Eid al-Adha, is the day on which you offer your sacrifices. Means you have to go with your community. You have to go with your country, especially if they depend on moon sighting, not on calendar calculations. So this hadith indicate that differing from the jama'ah, differing from unity, is not good. It's something bad. It's something that's not accepted in Islam. So my brother, my sister in Islam, what you should do is be with the people of your country or the country that you are living in. When the Muslims in your country break the fast, then break the fast with them. And when they fast, then fast with them. This is the teaching of Islam, my brother and sister. Don't say, I'm in Canada, I'm in Australia and all this, and the moon was not seen, but it was sighted in Makkah al-Mukarramah. Then you said, I want to follow Makkah al-Mukarramah. This is wrong. This is wrong. You follow the country that you are living in. Especially, I'm repeating, if always they depend on moon sighting, not on calendar calculations. So my brother, my sister in Islam, let us beware of sedition, let us beware of fitna, and creating divisions in our societies, in our communities, in particular, and the ummah as a whole. We have to try to avoid, creating, divisions and creating dispute and hatred among the Muslims because of something that which is broad in terms of Islamic perspectives. So remember, my brother, my sister in Islam, knowledge is not the primary objective, is not the main goal, but rather the means to reach the ultimate goal, which is to obtain Allah's pleasure and success in the hereafter as well as in this world. So if knowledge does not make you a better Muslim through your character, through your behavior, through your actions, and ibadah, and your worship, then this knowledge is not benefiting to you. It's not benefiting to you. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. Ya Allah the Merciful, benefit us from that which you taught us and teach us that which will benefit us and increase us in knowledge. هذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين.